That ends our new business. We'll now go into council reports. Any member of council wish to be recognized for the purpose of a report?
Can I go first?
Yes, you can go first.
Usually as a W, I don't get to go first. It's like one of the first times in my life. I've had the pleasure of serving you for the last 4 years, and it has been my pleasure, and it's with a very heavy heart that I leave this position because, quite frankly, I love doing the people's work. I hope I've done more good than bad, and I'd like to take a moment to salute the man who got me involved in all this. Gosh, I guess it was 1999. I was in a small, it's hard to believe that I would be involved in this, a small religious prayer group that got together once a week, once every 2 weeks. And at that time, did I have any children?
You had one.
One.
Your daughter was an infant.
And
I had hair.
So did I. And the mayor's children, who I think are here now as strapping, not so young men, were little rugrats running around terrorizing the family pets where we met. And the group that I'd originally met with said, there's this couple that you'd really love to meet them. They're great people, and that's panned out very well. It was the mayor and his lovely wife, Roxanne. And we spent many days debating all sorts of things, Christianity, and at that time, as a heathen, the mayor got the upper hand most of the time, kind of like my life on council. And from that, as positions became available, he asked me to step up and serve the city, first as planning commissioner, then I was lucky enough to be chair of the planning commission, and then when he couldn't get anybody else to run, he begged me to run for, what's this, council member. And
that's what your paycheck says.
Yes, both dimes. My wife was not really excited about me dedicating what she believes is hours and hours and hours to the city. With 3 young children, it's become more and more of a burden, in that I have to make very tough decisions, not just as a sitting council member, but am I going to go to my kids' ball games? Am I going to be there to coach for them? Or am I going to sit up here? Luckily, we found some wonderful people who were willing to come forth and fill this vacant slot. So I will no longer be a council member. The mayor will no longer be mayor. Hopefully we'll remain good friends, and I'll let him win most of the arguments. But it has been my joy to serve you. I wish I could have gotten more accomplished, but that's the way politics is. I've truly enjoyed the last 2 years. The first 2, not so much. You can look into history about why that may be. But thank you very much for allowing me to be your servant. And I will be putting in an application to be on the Planning Commission, because I don't believe that once you serve and you reach a high position that it is wrong to take a step back. I want to keep serving the city. I will remain active, and before the end of the week, my application will be in to go on the Planning Commission, because I understand 2 planning commissioners just vacated their seats to become city council members. So that's all I have to say. Again, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Warner. Does any other council members wish to speak? Mr. Witz.
Dry my eyes first. Before I make my remarks about Todd and the mayor, I want to thank everyone who worked so diligently over the past few months, culminating in Saturday's Fall Festival. I know there are many of you in the room tonight. With those of you who worked at the Fall Festival on Saturday, please stand up if you're in the room. It was an outstanding event. We had about 100 volunteers from South Gwinnett High School who were some of the hardest working young people. Did a tremendous job, just asked what they could do, stayed there until the place was over, until it was done. I mean, you are to be commended. You are going to be great leaders of this city. I'm proud of each and every one of you. And also the adults, there was probably a core of another 50 or 60 volunteers. Snellville is blessed with the volunteers that we have that come out and work as hard as they work on these events. And you got to remember, this is all volunteers that put that thing on. There's one paid employee, the executive, and our streets on Saturday were volunteers, just citizens of Snellville. And I think that says a lot about us. I continue on the council for the next 2 years. I'm going to tell you that I am sorely going to miss the council of Todd. He is our planning and zoning guru. Every time I have a question, I go to Todd. He always has the answers. If he doesn't, he gets them for me. He explains them in terms that I can understand. And just because he's on council does not mean he's not going to get my daily phone calls, so he can continue to explain it to me. Mayor, we have had our differences, but I hold an awful lot of respect for you, and I have a lot of respect for your dedication to the city, the things you have done for the city since 1999, and I only hope that I can leave half the legacy that you've left in the city.
Thank you, Mr. Witz. Thank you very much. Mr. Spa?
I'd like to echo the remarks of my colleagues here on council and wish the mayor and Todd a wonderful time being citizens, and I understand that you're going to be back in the city hall helping out in the planning. That would be great, and I thank you. I tip my hat for you. I appreciate all the phone calls, all the emails that you have given me, directing me in the right proper direction. As you know, I was one of the new ones. I didn't know how to spell the word zoning, and I appreciate your guidance there, Todd, and the time that you took to explain to me. Same thing for you, Mr. Mayor. I've come in brand new without any feathers on, and I think with your guidance and the way you lead the meetings, made it very comfortable to sit in the seat here. That's an outstanding job you've done. Your support has been immense, and I will definitely miss seeing you in that middle seat, but definitely would run in with you. Hopefully our friendship will continue to grow in the future. I'd like to make one small statement, although that I'll be here for the next 2 more years. If anyone got offended about my comments in supporting of a business friend of mine, my apologies to the city, my apologies to the mayor, my apologies to Councilman Witz, Councilman Warner, and the mayor candidates out there. And that's my remarks for the evening.
Thank you, Mr. Sabah. That concludes our council report. We'll now